We got several Netflix trailers here. This is from the event.
You got it.
Yeah. We have 5 different trailers here. I don't know if we're gonna get to show you all 5 though, because sometimes with music issues, it creates problems and we just end up cutting it out. But what we want to show you is our reactions to The World of Minnal Murali, the exclusive interview, Dhamaka, Khufiya, Aranyak, and Finding Anamika. Before we jump into World of Minnal Murali, I want to shout out Vlad. Vlad is the fight choreographer, action designer of this movie. I'm so stoked that he is the action designer of this film. It's so cool to see my friends involved in like Indian cinema. Like it's already cool to see my friends involved in like cinema, like American cinema, but to see them involved in Indian cinema is like just another level of interesting, you know? World of Minnal Murali, exclusive interview, Tovino Thomas, Basil Joseph, Netflix India. You guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this video up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. If you want to skip forward at all between different clips, there should be timestamps in the description below, and also chapters on the playhead.
Oh.
അതെന്താണ് സുനാമിയാ?
It's the Flash. No.
എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് ആദ്യം കഥ പറയുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഒരു സാധാരണ ഒരു കോമിക് കഥാപാത്രമായിട്ട് ഒരു കോമിക് ബുക്ക് കഥാപാത്രമായിട്ടാണ് ഈ മിന്നൽ മുരളി ഇരുന്നതെങ്കിൽ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് എഴുതി കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഇങ്ങനൊരു കഥയായിട്ട് മാറി.
ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഐഡിയ വരുന്നത് 2018 ഒരു സെപ്റ്റംബർ ആ ഒരു സമയത്തൊക്കെയാണ്. സൂപ്പർ ഹീറോ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സിനിമ ചെയ്യാൻ ആ ജോണറിൻ്റേതായ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുണ്ട്. നമ്മുടെ മലയാളത്തിൽ അത് ചെയ്യുന്നതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് അതിൻ്റേതായ പ്രശ്നങ്ങളുണ്ട്.
ഒരു ഒറിജിനൽ സൂപ്പർ ഹീറോ സ്ക്രിപ്റ്റ് മലയാളത്തിൽ വന്നാൽ എങ്ങനെ ഇരിക്കും എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. മിന്നൽ മുരളി എൻ്റെ കരിയറിൽ തന്നെ ഞാൻ നായകനായിട്ട് അഭിനയിച്ച ഏറ്റവും വലിയ സിനിമയായിരിക്കും.
സിനിമ തന്നെ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നതിൽ വലിയ എക്സൈറ്റ്മെൻ്റ് ഒന്നുമില്ല. നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല എന്ന് തോന്നുന്ന സിനിമ ചെയ്യുന്നതിലാണ് എക്സൈറ്റ്മെൻ്റ് ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പോഴേ ഇത് അതിൻ്റെ ചാലഞ്ചസും നമുക്കൊക്കെ ഭയങ്കര ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയിട്ട് വരത്തുള്ളൂ.
അദ്ദേഹം എൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞത് എനിക്കിപ്പോഴും ഓർമ്മയുണ്ട്. ഈ സിനിമയുടെ ഷൂട്ട് തീരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും യു ലവ് മീ ആൻഡ് ഹേറ്റ് മീ അറ്റ് ദ സെയിം ടൈം. അതായത് യു ലവ് മീ ഫോർ ദി ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് ആൻഡ് യു വിൽ ഹേറ്റ് മീ ഫോർ ദി വർക്ക്.
Oh, the director knows what he wants.
Almost every scene have some superhero element. കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ബേസിക് ഹ്യൂമൻ ഇമോഷൻ ഡീൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു സിനിമയാണ്. സൂപ്പർ ഹീറോയിസം അതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് വരുന്ന ഒരു എക്സ് ഫാക്ടർ മാത്രമാണ് എന്നുള്ള രീതിയിലാണ്.
ഡയറക്ടറുടെ അതേ സ്വഭാവമായിരിക്കും. നമ്മളൊന്നും പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്തിട്ട് സംഭവിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളല്ല ഈ അടുപ്പവും കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ. അതൊക്കെ ഈ സിനിമയുടെ ഈ പ്രതിസന്ധികൾ വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ സിനിമയിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന എല്ലാവരും തമ്മിൽ കൂടുതൽ അടുപ്പമുണ്ടായി.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool. I wanted to hear more about it. That sounds really, really awesome.
Yeah, and you haven't even seen anything yet.
I know. I'm just like, how exciting is that? I loved what the director was saying about how, you know, it's more fun to do a film where you know it's going to be challenging. Like, I like his whole attitude, which is like, yeah, if it's difficult, it's challenging, we'll learn more from it. Let's do it. Let's try and figure this out. And like to have it be the first, it is the first superhero film, right, from the Malayalam film industry. Like that is really awesome. And you know, they're a smaller industry than Bollywood, right? And so it's almost like there's more chances for ingenuity when you're not the big guy. It's like, how do we do this creatively?
You're working with a very, very limited budget compared to what you might get from a big studio in Bollywood.
Yeah.
And so those constraints is like pressure making diamonds. Those constraints force you to be a lot more creative and figure out ingenious ways to give you something similar to what you might find in a bigger picture.
Yeah, and I like what he was saying too about how at its heart it's just a story dealing about human elements, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he said exactly, but that was kind of the idea. And then the superhero element is just the X factor on top. And I think that's what has made the Marvel films, for instance, really, really successful, is because of the underlying human story that is just kind of being played out by some people who happen to be superheroes. But not really the most important thing about them.
Right. Well, I mean, it seems like they're going to be very selective with the visual effects moments in the movie and focus it more on the character elements, which is very, very clever.
Yes.
I mean, if you go and watch something like, and this is the only example I can think of off the top of my head, but something like Unbreakable, where it's about a person who's becoming a superhero, but you're not looking at end-to-end visual effects like something from Zack Snyder or Marvel. It's about this guy who's going through this change and dealing with that and how it's affecting the people around him.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, you have the superhero elements, which really come into play towards the end of the movie, Unbreakable. And so I imagine something like that might happen here, where as he's discovering his powers, you know, they kind of showed a little bit of a few snippets here and there where he's having fun with it, and because he's figuring out who he is. And that's something you don't actually see a heck of a lot in superhero films, because it's usually more grim, more serious. You know, there's Shazam, where he's figuring out his powers, and that's kind of fun. But again, that's more of a visual effects bonanza. Whereas here, it's sort of on the ground level for a lot of the movie, and then I think it comes into its own and becomes more and more action towards the end, which I think is a great way to do it for a what do you call an origin story for a superhero? Yeah. And my hope for this is that it becomes very, very popular pan-Indian, and they get money to do an even bigger version the next time around. So, I mean, this is me saying all this without even having seen a proper trailer, but
it looks exciting. Yeah. I'm really excited for it, for sure.
All right, Dhamaka. Kartik Aaryan is back to blow our minds. Dhamaka is coming soon, only on Netflix.
Okay.
So, Kartik Aaryan, Ram Madhvani. Here we go.
Whoa.
Kartik. Wake up, Kartik.
मशहूर बॉलीवुड एक्टर कार्तिक आर्यन को अपने ही घर में बंदी बना लिया गया। घर से बाहर निकलने का कोई रास्ता नहीं दिया गया है। कार्तिक मशहूर बॉलीवुड एक्टर कार्तिक आर्यन
Can it be like AK versus AK a bit?
बाहर निकलने का कोई रास्ता नहीं दिया गया है। The windows and doors of the actor's Mumbai home have been sealed shut.
What? Also, why are you wearing sunglasses indoors, dude?
हेलो कार्तिक, तुम्हारी बिल्डिंग में एक बॉम्ब है। सिर्फ तुम ही धमाका रोक सकते हो।
मजाक की भी हद होती है।
मैं जैसा कहता हूँ वैसा करो। नो नो नो, दरवाजे के पास मत जाओ।
What is this? Like Saw?
मैंने कहा अब मैं जैसा कहता हूँ वैसा करो।
क्या चाहते क्या हो तुम?
तुम्हारे सामने।
That's more like the game.
Oh.
The Michael Douglas movie.
कपड़े बदलो कार्तिक, तुम्हारे पास ज्यादा वक्त नहीं है। Your time's running out, कार्तिक।
क्या कर रहे हो तुम?
Cuff yourself to the chair.
Cuff my hands?
Cuff your hands to the chair, Kartik. Now. Now, become the character, Kartik, and say your lines. तुम्हारे पास सिर्फ 45 सेकंड है, कार्तिक।
What?
ये मुझसे क्या करवा रहे हो?
Just do it.
कार्तिक।
मैं हूँ अर्जुन पाठक from भरोसा 24/7.
More energy, कार्तिक।
मैं हूँ अर्जुन पाठक from भरोसा 24/7.
I said more energy.
मैं हूँ अर्जुन पाठक from भरोसा 24/7.
Your time's running out, Kartik. I'm not feeling it.
मैं हूँ अर्जुन पाठक from भरोसा 24/7. जो भी कहूँगा सच कहूँगा.
Say it like you mean it.
मैं हूँ अर्जुन पाठक from भरोसा 24/7. जो भी कहूँगा सच कहूँगा.
Like you mean it.
मैं हूँ अर्जुन पाठक from भरोसा 24/7. जो भी कहूँगा सच कहूँगा.
That was great, Kartik. But I'm sorry. Your time is up.
No.
Arjun sir.
How did
Next ready. Yes.
How did he get out of his cuffs?
Sir.
Well, that's one way to get the performance you want from your actors.
Yes. Yes. Arjun sir, ये आपके lines.
मैं हूं अर्जुन पाठक, भरोसा 24/7 से जो भी कहूंगा सच कहूंगा।
Dhamaka coming to Netflix.
That's a very interesting ad. I mean, obviously, I would imagine that's a thing just made just for the promoting the movie, and it's not actually in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it says it's a mood promo. I didn't really know what that was when I first pulled it up, but I was like, oh, well, I mean, it looks interesting, so let's check it out.
I feel like it really captures the feeling of being an actor on set. It's like, get the emotions right, get the character right. I've been in those situations where, I mean, this is just for commercial casting, right? I mean, commercial acting, it's just, everything moves really fast on commercial sets.
Yeah.
And whenever a director has given me specific direction, I get low-key high anxiety. I'm like, God damn it, what's he asking for? Because on my Chevy commercial, the director was the same director of a bunch of episodes of The Office. And I'm like, oh God, please don't fuck this up. Okay, what do you want me to do? And like, you're just trying to get, you know, that whole thing he was going through with the handcuff, it's like, I feel like some of us go through that in our heads when we're just trying to get a line right for the director.
Right.
Trying to make them happy.
I mean, that was certainly a very creative way to get your actors to do what they want.
Well, the other element of this that's quite interesting to me that maybe I'm reading too much into this, but like he was basically being tortured into what he was supposed to say, right? And into meaning it. And you think of people like Tucker Carlson of Fox News, who are supposedly giving the people the truth. It's like everyone's for sale, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's frightening, and that's the thing we were talking about earlier today, I think, with, do you mind if I bring up that example again of the Civil War?
Oh, yeah.
So basically, hopefully I don't bore anybody with this. During the Civil War era, just before that war, the whole idea was that white people thought they were superior to black people, at least a certain section of the South. And it was an idea that they were sold by the wealthy 10%. Because when the Civil War took place, which was largely about slavery, only 10% of the South owned slaves.
Right.
And so it was this idea that all of these poor white people were sold that they could one day own slaves and that they were somehow better than black people. But it was just something sold to them by the rich to keep them in their place. When I think about that, which happened centuries ago now, or not even centuries ago, like 150, 170 years ago at this point. I don't know the exact dates off the top of my head. However, that wasn't that long ago.
3 grandmas ago.
3 grandmas ago. We have a lot more sophisticated technology today than we did back then.
Right.
We have a much better understanding of the human psyche today than we did back then. And so the tools to manipulate us are so much more sophisticated today than they were back then. Even as skeptical as some of us might be, I feel like a lot of people get swept up in what they see on the news and whatnot, and being, sold these ideas from people they supposedly should trust.
So kind of what I'm getting from what you're saying and what we just watched is someone controlling the newsroom then? Like that's
exactly
voice.
it.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly it, because he's someone who's connecting with the people, and you trust him, but the strings are being pulled on him too.
Yeah, he's being forced to say all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because, danger.
Now that might be me just projecting onto this situation. I have no idea. I feel like we saw a promo of this before.
We did see like a little teaser or something for it, but it was kind of that similar vibe where it was, he was all like, I am here to tell the truth and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think we really learned a lot more about the movie apart from, as it said, the mood. Like, you're getting the tone. It kind of feels like it's a scary game or that type of situation.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way they were doing that opening, I don't know if that's going to actually be part of the film at all, anything like that, but that was definitely like The Game. Michael Douglas' The Game. Like, that film was weird. With Sean Penn and Michael Douglas, of like him signing up to do this game, and it's something like that where he has to go through these things that he agreed to in order to survive. It's fine if it's just the promo for the film, and that's it. But
I mean, it definitely makes you kind of curious to see what it's about.
I personally am intrigued by films like this. This is something that a lot of people watch, a lot of people subscribe to, and get their information from. And it's like, why do we trust these people? We should be able to trust them, but should we? It's a very confusing thing, because like, if you don't get your information from them, where are you going to get it from?
Do your own research.
Yeah, exactly.
But everything is kind of filtered through a bias, even if they say they're unbiased.
Well, that's why earlier today we did a live stream with our patrons, and one of the things I was saying in that like 1 hour chat was, you got to watch the news that you disagree with too. You got to watch the news that you consider is for the enemy, so you understand what's being said on both sides, so you have a well-rounded, informed opinion, rather than just subscribing to the thing that's on your team wearing your jersey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, we got lost in the weeds on that one. Let's look at Khufiya.
Ooh, Ali Fazal.
Yeah. Do you think your secrets are safe? Justice gets personal in Vishal Bhardwaj's Khufiya, a spy thriller based on Amar Bhushan's escape to nowhere, inspired by true events.
Ooh, cool.
Hashtag da-dum.
Da-dum.
Yeah, Ali Fazal, Taboo.
Oh, yes.
Wamika Gabi. That's a dope shot.
Yeah.
I like the way this is being shot so far.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. Very mysterious.
Oh, there's like that reflection. That's cool. Yeah, it's very like creative. Oh no, what are you gonna do? Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be something else.
It said, don't copy, dude. What are you doing?
Yeah. Is this like the intro? Like the first few minutes of the movie?
It's probably a tease.
वो सिर्फ मेरा नहीं पूरे देश का गद्दार है.
That's cool.
They managed to make a guy getting up out of his seat and making a photocopy profoundly interesting.
Yeah, very dramatic.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, hold on. What's happening? Is he the bad guy that she's talking about? Is that what it is?
Well, it seems like they're taking that South Indian sort of approach of like keeping it mysterious. I think that he is a
spy? Well, he works for the intelligence agency, right? And he has access to all that stuff. And clearly he's got to be someone very high up because he's able to access the file that is inside a safe and that is for eyes only. Is he the traitor? That's what I'm wondering. He made a photocopy. You're not supposed to do that, dude.
Well, he's obviously the spy, right?
But he's in a spy agency. So he is a spy. Is he a spy? The road to nowhere. Where are you going?
I'm wondering if he's a whistleblower.
Yeah.
That to me makes more sense. Like he works at the agency. He saw something that is supposed to stay in-house, that is top secret, high-level information. But for him, it's one of those things that the people need to know because it's going to impact society in a negative way. Like Snowden.
That's
okay?
right. I was like, Frost. So something cold.
So Snowden, right? He leaked that basically America was spying on every freaking body in its own country.
Yeah.
You know, big brother to the max. It's up to you whether or not you think he's a hero or a traitor. I feel like a lot of people think that he's a hero and he's brave for letting that information out because we wouldn't have known that otherwise, right?
Right.
I mean, I think a lot of people suspected it, but he basically confirmed it. And so I don't know exactly what's happening here. Obviously, it's deliberately mysterious.
Yes.
But it's compelling the way it's shot. I mean, all you saw the guy do was get up and make a photocopy of something. Now, the thing is, it said, not to be copied. So it's obviously like highly secretive.
I think it was something also to do with Pakistan as well. I thought I saw something about that, like ISI or whatever. I'm not sure what the acronym was, but I thought that it was to do with Pakistan.
Nevertheless, whatever the circumstances are around that document, all you saw Ali Fazal do was get up and make a photocopy, and it was profoundly compelling.
I know. And you could barely see him as well. Like it's all shrouded shrouded in shadow, and the way they did the shot, like you could tell that it was some sort of supposed to be CCTV footage, although that very first shot where they were spinning, I was kind of going, this is really cool, but also why is a CCTV footage like spinning?
It's just a creative choice.
But cool, that's a creative choice. But I loved all the stuff that they were doing with...
If I had to guess, that shot, I mean, this is me taking a shot in the dark here, okay? That shot was inspired by Requiem for a Dream by Darren Aronofsky. He did a shot that was exactly like that. It was a totally different situation, but it was like that kind of top-down spinny thing. Like, it's a very... The first time I ever saw that shot was from Darren Aronofsky.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, I just think that the choices are really interesting because even that stuff where you could see him sitting there and then it kind of pulled away and then it brings the map into focus. And I'm wondering, like, with all of that stuff where things are shrouded in mystery and they're not really what they seem to be, or there's like reflections and stuff like that. This is me going on a tangent here, but I'm going, oh, maybe it's to show us, the audience, that, you know, we shouldn't believe everything that we see. You know, like that things are a mystery and things are an illusion here. You know, and they're shadowy and it's dark.
The thing that I thought was interesting also, at least if it's a clue of any kind, was that they showed Africa.
Right.
And I want to know why, because like you kind of see India off to the side there, right?
Yeah, they didn't choose to show India.
They didn't emphasize India. They emphasized Africa. And I'm like, okay, why? What does Africa have to do with this situation?
Yeah, if anything at all. But
Right.
I feel like this is one of those things where there's probably a lot to pick apart thematically or symbolically just by kind of breaking down the choices that they've made, because they made very deliberate aesthetic, you know, shot choices.
I love it.
Yeah,
I think
so
it's
cool.
awesome. I can't wait to watch it. We're moving on to Aranyak. Sneak peek, Ravina Tandon, Ashutosh Rana, and Parambrata Chatterjee.
Catch Ravina Tandon in this misty Himalayan town playing a brave cop to fight the bloodthirsty killer of the forest. Hashtag da-dum. Some very atmospheric music.
Sabji?
I was gonna say, like, the man's got a gun. Uh-oh.
Oh, what?
Remember this one?
मैंने कहा था कल चंद्रग्रहण की रात थी मरते हुआ खून पिएगा
Are they hunting an animal?
शायद मैंने सुना नहीं.
Well, everyone else is hearing it. Huh?
कोई नहीं
What? Why are you?
आप देख ले
It's behind you. Above you.
What?
This is yet another like mysterious little tidbit that they're giving us here.
That was so intense.
I
I'm
know.
like, I wanted to see.
Like, what was it? Is it a tiger? Is it a werewolf?
I feel like they did this to us before. Is this the one I watched with Sintel in Denver?
Was it?
I feel like I don't know. I can't remember. I don't remember if this is the one I watched with him or not, but I feel like I saw something with him that had to do with an animal that we never actually got to see. And so, and it might have been equally intense. I don't remember if it was this or something else. Anyway, it's the second time I've gotten blue balls on that sort of situation because we didn't see anything.
Right, yeah. Because they want you to watch the movie. They're doing a good job here. It's like, oh, watch the movie to see what the heck
but
they're
at least
talking
show me
about.
some eyes of a creature, you know, shrouded in shadow and darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let me see something.
Or like teeth.
This is the first trailer of the Netflix series that I'm a little bit frustrated by. I'm just like, why am I going to watch this? You didn't show me anything.
Because they didn't show you anything, now you have to go watch it.
I'm cool.
No? You're like, no. You should have done better, Netflix. I was into it. I was like along for the ride, and then
I like the music.
The music was good.
The music was nice, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely kind of get you in the mood. You know what this movie is. It's a suspenseful thing. The chief, he was really creepy. I'm not gonna lie. Like she's all like, sir, which I'm sorry, rookie mistake. He doesn't know that you're there, and you come up behind him and you're gonna surprise him. He's holding a freaking shotgun. He could have blown your head off.
Yeah.
It's not a wise move, lady. What training did you have? And then he turns around and he's all like, oh, it was like the lunar eclipse or whatever. Like, okay.
Yeah. Well, if the monster or tiger or whatever's above them, then it makes more sense that he kept the gun trained on her. I was like, why is this gun still aimed at her? I don't know how many of you guys watching have ever experienced that. It's a very, very uncomfortable feeling to have a gun aimed at you. Yeah. And I've had multiple guns aimed at me at once. It's a very wildly uncomfortable feeling that I cannot really articulate to you because it frightens you. You're like, you might die.
Yeah.
You know, that's a very scary feeling, especially, you know, as a teenager. This dude's got a double barrel shotgun aimed at her face.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, that's a gun and it's aimed at my face. That's a killing weapon.
Yeah, like,
and so,
sir, could you put your gun down,
the only
please?
justification I can have for that is the reason he kept it on her was so he could slowly aim it upwards at the thing.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to have any sudden movements because, you know, it's like a T-Rex, you know, it sees things based on movement.
And why couldn't she hear anything? Like everyone else could kind of hear, I guess, or sense whatever.
He's got super hearing or something. And
or she's a woman and it doesn't like women. I don't know. They were
Was
all
that
men.
supposed to be like a low-key sexist kind of joke?
I don't. No. It's not even. I'm not even trying to be sexist. I'm just basing.
Women
this
just don't
off
hear
of
things.
The evidence. No, it's not that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like maybe it's
Laurel,
one of those things.
Yanni.
That's not what I meant. I thought that maybe it's just one of those things where it only affects men, and because she's a woman, she can't. I don't know. I don't understand this.
Okay.
What's going on?
Well, let's move on. Finding Anamika. Teaser, Madhuri Dixit Nene. Netflix India. Some stories are nothing short of a spectacle. Here's the story of a person who was maybe not always under the spotlight, but will always remain in the limelight. Hashtag Tudum.
Tudum. This sounds wholesome.
All right, here we go.
Famous last words, maybe.
What do you think of the dress?
I dig it. I want to see the front.
So tell me, what is it like being Anamika Anand?
It's nice. Honestly, even after all these years, I still can't believe it's true. This life.
That's pretty.
I feel very blessed. Touch wood. Kisi ki nazar na lage.
Oh,
what?
What?
That's the whole movie. It's just positive.
What?
I love my life. It's like 90 minutes of her just going, my life is awesome.
My life is great. I super love it. You know, I can't complain. I'm really famous. I get to wear awesome clothes and go out to these events. And I'm an older actress now, and I'm still blessed.
It's gonna be like Ponyo. It's just like the whole film is like almost getting killed, almost like danger, but like she doesn't even realize anything's happening. It's just coasting through the film until the last act.
I mean, this is definitely a tease.
Well, yeah.
Because it just ended. I feel like Netflix has been doing that a lot to us today, where they set up a really interesting premise. It's looking nice, you know. Like the shot is pretty. It kind of has this ethereal feel to it. Madhuri Dixit is beautiful, and you're just like, oh wow, I wonder what could happen, and then it just stops. Like we were all like, oh, something bad's gonna happen, and then the end.
Yeah. I'm if I had to guess, it has a movie to do with jealousy of some kind, because she said, may no one cast an evil eye. And so the clue from that is like, what happens if someone were to do that? It's like shit were to happen to her, or someone's trying to usurp her position in the world, like it's trying to get her roles now.
It's called Finding Anamika. Okay. So maybe she gets kidnapped or killed or something. She's all like, oh, may no one cast the evil eye. And then they're like, Shazam, biatch!
Yeah.
Now you've disappeared.
I didn't like the journalist's question. What's it like being Anamika Anand? It's like you're a person like anybody else.
Yeah. Like I wake up, I go to the toilet, brush my teeth, have a cup of tea.
Sometimes you gotta poop that's not coming out. It's like everybody's a human being.
Yeah. Like what sort of dumb question is that?
Yeah. I mean, she handled it with finesse, though.
Well, yeah, that's why she's still at the top of her game, you know?
Here's the story of a person who was maybe not always under the spotlight, but will always remain in the limelight. What does this mean?
I don't know. It just sounded so wholesome when they said it, you know?
You think she gets kidnapped?
Why is it called Finding Anamika?
Maybe it has to do with her finding herself.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that could be.
Like a spiritual version of Finding Nemo.
Yeah, like aren't we all on a spiritual version of Finding Nemo in life? Like we just want to find ourselves.
I regret talking. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It could be anything. It could be a wholesome adventure, which would be cool. But I mean, the way it's shot, with the color,
colors.
I feel like the other shoe
is about to drop.
It just didn't drop.
Yeah.
It's like you almost did, and then it ended.
The shoe did this, doop, and then the other one was like right here.
Yeah.
And then it just ended.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think
why
it's gonna
are you
be
doing
dark.
that? I think it's gonna be, yeah, I agree with you. It just the colors. Like if it was supposed to be a happy movie, wouldn't it kind of look more Technicolor? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think
Maybe
you're
like
right.
make it bright and colorful and cute.
I mean, you're right. The color of it, we just mentioned earlier. We mentioned it earlier. The color of the tone, the color palette actually looks a lot like the game. Yeah, it looks just like that. And it's, yeah. I have nothing more to add other than that. The last thing I wanted to say before I forget is the Kartik Aryan movie.
Yeah.
Dhamaka. The way this thing started out, for me, it's like, it was cool. It's just a promo, but low key, I was expecting it to be like a detergent ad.
It did. No, that I didn't say this when we watched it, but there was a sense of artifice from looking at it, because it did really look like a set. Like just the lighting and everything, like it looks so nice. It's so pretty. Like the way he's dressed, the way he's lying there with sunglasses on in your own home.
Right.
No one needs to know. Like who else is there? If you're hungover, you're fine. It's dark.
It struck me as something that could have been an ad of some kind, like you need to start taking Mentos.
Oh yeah.
Something silly like that. Yeah. Tide.
Turns out it was an ad for the movie.
Right. Yeah, exactly. No, yes. It just felt like an ad for a product, and I just didn't know what that product was going to be.
Yeah, and then, then when the wall fell down, I was like, oh, that totally makes sense, because it looked like a set.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Please let us know your feelings in the comments below. What are you most excited for? I know that for me, Dhamaka is definitely up there as something I'm very excited for. But I'd say World of Minnal Murali is the one that has got the crown for this round, because I want to see that superhero shit. I'm so excited about it. So thanks so much for hanging out. Vote this video up to let YouTube know you enjoyed what you watched. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.